No, it won't get offensive, but this is probably offensive to Rossy Ogawa, who's now being accused of Lord knows whatever Kenny's got to say here. So we're putting Kenny over. We love him. He's sitting there with Nakazawa. Then all of a sudden he's got this to say about Rossy Ogawa.
I don't care about Rossy being an E-drone. I mean, whatever. It's no big deal.
An E-drone. Now, people are mad that he called him an E-drone. And at first I was like, what the fuck, Kenny? Like, how'd you just spoil it all? But the thing is, the question he was asked was like, what do you think about Ogawa being an E-drone? So Kenny's like answering it like, well, I don't give a fuck about him being an E-drone. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's here. We'll keep playing it.
That's his. He's done. That's not even the tip of the iceberg, guys. You freaking wait. Just you freaking wait. If you guys are still interested in.
So stuff's gonna come out about Rossy Ogawa. The thing is, you know, like if you ask Brian Last and Jim Cornette and those guys, they're like, crazy shit's gonna come out about Omega and those guys. I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't like when accusations get thrown around and we don't know what's real and what's not. And he's saying some pretty salacious shit about Rossy here, but he's just saying, no, this is the tip of it. So the tip of it was that he likes WWE. I don't really know, but Kenny also doesn't like Rossy. So I don't know. I just hope this doesn't get ugly. Sorry. Chad is with me here saying, didn't Asuka speak on this before she came to the US? Well, she did say that Stardom tried to like bury her and fucking ruin her reputation and put her out of business and all that stuff. So Kenny continues.
Wrestling, and you're still kind of listening to the stories and reading stuff when it finally comes out. Oh, when it finally comes. There are a lot of people that refuse to work with him for the very same reason. Some of those people are even in WWE. Some of those people are in AEW. And they have a very good reason. It's not just like, yeah, I decided to wake up and not like this guy. Oh. Yep. And hey, if you want to know sort of along what lines they tread amongst, the dude just flat out said, hey, we're looking for girls from like ages 13 to 21 that don't have a boyfriend or aren't married.
So how do you excuse or defend that? Now, the legal age of consent is 13 in Japan, so it does seem kind of fucking it just got moved up to 16 after they were criticized for that shit. So that does seem kind of creepy, but I could understand being like, oh yeah, no, like I understand the excuse could be rather, well, if you have a husband or a boyfriend, then you're going to be distracted, right? Like, and we just want to train people who are going to be, that we can literally groom, like to wrestle, not whatever. Now, me, I'm just going with creepy as soon as I need little girls 13. I'm just like, whoa, you know, that's, I don't business you in, that's fucked up. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll get Kenny's last little.
We already know that he puts underage girls in very revealing swimsuit calendars and books.
So he does. Rossy Ogawa puts underage girls in very revealing swimsuit calendars and books. I didn't know about that, so that's fucked up if that's true. But it's crazy that Kenny's just dropping all this shit lately.
And I wish that's all he did. Let's put it away.
God, Kenny's so like he's even like doing faces and gesticulating, if you will.
I know video. He's I mean,
but so this kind of do you think this is a black eye on WWE after they're announcing all this shit? It's a black eye on the on the IWC. Do you think Kenny's talking out of his ass? I don't feel like he's the type to just say this baselessly. So do you think there's something to this? What would you rather ignore it? Kenny's wearing a fucking little girl on his t-shirt right here. So
I mean, my goodness, that's what I'm saying. Like it's hypocrisy all around. I mean, listen, Kenny Omega, you're a little too late in these revelations, if you're asking me. If you had a problem with it, you should have always had a problem with it and should have been speaking out against it before this question was even asked of you. As I said in a tweet, isn't this the dude that was wrestling a 9-year-old girl? You had no problem doing that in front of thousands of people and putting it online and making sure that got out, or maybe you were trying to hide it. I'm not really sure, but, and I hate to sound like an adult, but Japan has been around for thousands of years.
Yeah.
This is their culture. If we want to respect cultures and all that and celebrate diversity,
yeah, dude.
Unfortunately, that's their age of consent. There's not much anybody here in the States can do about it. If the age of consent is 13, I'm personally disgusted. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
Hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, man?
Yeah, like exactly, like their country. Yeah, they've been criticized though because that was like a centuries-old law that they like recently changed it to 16 because they were starting to come over out. They were starting to get scrutiny, you know, just on the internet and shit. So again, yeah, like they have weird shit over there, dude. So I mean,
they'll think that we've got weird shit over here. That's what I'm letting people know. So, like, it's just like you have to take the good with the bad, especially if you're one of those types that are just like celebrate diversity. Everybody is to be better. Well, you gotta. This is a part of that. You know, that argument, that culture.
I just think it's crazy that. Oh, go ahead.
Right, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I just think it's crazy. Like they're announcing all this Merigold shit, then Kenny just drops this bombshell out of nowhere.
Right.
What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
Interesting timing, on that front, but my wrap up is that Kenny conveniently had these things in his head for such a long time, but this is the guy who put fingers in men's asses during matches and was wrestling little girls and balloons, for God's sake. So come on, Kenny. You can't be like one of those guys like take the money and run, and when it's all safe and clear and I can speak up about it. You speak. If you had a problem with it then, you should have said something then. If you made $1 off of Rossy Ogawa, then what are we talking about here?
Yeah, no, I mean, I do appreciate that perspective. I definitely will say though that this guy's saying what he's saying, Rossy should be in prison. Well, that's just it. Like if it happened in Japan, brother, that's the point we're trying to make. Like we're not defending that shit at all because our culture's way different, and I think that's fucked up. But like, that's a great point that Awful brought up. Very rational and logical conclusion is that their culture's different. So, I mean, like exactly. If it's not illegal there, then like, I mean, how can we fucking? I don't know. I think it's weird, but I just don't.
In Singapore,
I hope it doesn't come out he was like traumatizing and ruining lives and shit like that, though. But if it does, then fuck him, feed him to the sharks, But sorry, what were you gonna say about Singapore?
No, in Singapore, you get 5 years for spitting on the ground. Now, obviously, you can't do that in Singapore, but you can do that kind of shit here in the States. So it's like I said, you take the good with the bad. I am not advocating these people, training young girls. If I had my way, it'd be 25.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. That's what it is. What are you going to start doing protests?
Are you like all 18?
I'm just joking. Yeah, 18's all right. I mean, what the fuck? But
if you go to war and get blown up, I think that's when you can start making all those weird choices for yourself. Japan's parliament, in a welcome move, has raised the age of consent to 16 years from 13 years. The move comes after a wait of more than a century since its last change in 1907. So, like, when did they do this though? So, like, if this happened last year, then Ogawa, was he training 13-year-olds last year? Because like, get them. But otherwise, I don't know. It's illegal if they're 13. So I got to back this up. Yeah. Back what up? Yeah, I don't know. Let's stop talking about backing up when we're talking about this type of subject matter. I'm just kidding, Derek. We appreciate you here, man.